Yeah, as you can see, the players are just coming out behind me, going through their early paces, getting a touch on the ball. I'm joined by both the managers. First of all, Willie Kirk, who's the head coach of Glasgow City. Eddie, how are your players looking ahead of the game?
I think they're very relaxed and they're really focused on the game to come, so yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Of course, we're playing indoors. What do you make of the surface?
We play on 3G, so we're quite used to the surface, and ourselves and Hibs have both played at this venue previously, so I don't think it will phase the players out too much.
Now, you're coming off a tough game in midweek in Europe. Yeah. How much do the players want to bounce back from that result?
I'm sure they're a determined bunch most of the time anyway, so I'm sure they'll be out to show that they're far better than that.
Eddie, thank you very much. Now, Willie Kirk of Hibernian. Willie, it's a pretty tough task against this Glasgow City side. They do win most of their games.
It is, of course it is. 5 league titles in a row in the last 16 of Champions League tells you everything you need to know how difficult a task it is.
But you are the current holders of this tournament. The girls really determined to keep a hold on that trophy.
Definitely, we've actually won it 5 times in the last 8 years, so a lot of girls sort of see it as their own. So that's certainly enough motivation. We will not be letting go of that lightly.
And of course, you are the only team in Scotland to have beaten Glasgow City. Is that something you're using in your motivation?
Well, it's certainly something we'll use to give the girls some belief. You know, despite their fantastic record this season, the girls do know that they're the only domestic team that have beat them this season. So they've done it once, so they must believe that it can be done again. What's
your opinions on the pitch and playing indoors? Is it something that you're looking forward to?
It's different. A bit disappointed it's indoors. I think they have done what they could have done with this place to make it look as good as possible. Again, the surface, just like Eddie, you know, both teams are used to a surface, so that's not a problem for us. But it's a Scottish Cup final. You know, if it was played in the back garden, the players would be able to motivate themselves.
Eddie, if I just bring you back in here as well, of course, women's football, they play in summer. It's not something that we see in the men's game. Is that something you see of a benefit?
I think in terms of training in the better weather, if I could say that for Scotland, but certainly last year proved, and our season finished and the snow came with a flurry and closed at M8, so it looked a really great decision at that time, and I'm sure it's probably going to prove a great decision again this year.
What sort of a game are you expecting today? Is it going to be free-flowing, lots of goals?
I don't know if we're certainly both attack-minded, and Hibs are a side that we have a lot of respect for. And I'm glad it's Hibs who are playing in the cup final today, because I genuinely believe it is the 2 best teams in the country playing.
Willie, the state of the game in Scotland seems pretty good. The national team, they're on the rise up the rankings. What's your view on the state of the game in Scotland?
I firmly believe we're so close to exploding in this country. You know, the national team's been fantastic. Eddie and the guys have been flying the flag very high for everyone in the country going to the last 16, so I do think we're at the beginning of what could be an explosion in this country.
Well, thank you very much, guys. All the best of luck today. Glasgow City versus Hibernian Ladies kicks off at 3 o'clock.